Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, 10 Minutes Exploration. In the previous video, we talked about the rise of Genghis Khan, the founder and first ruler of the Mongol Empire, which stretched from China to Europe at its peak in the 13th century. It was the largest contiguous land empire ever created, covering about 9 million square miles or 23 million square kilometers. But how did this vast empire collapse after Genghis Khan's death? What were the factors that led to its decline and fragmentation? In this video, we'll try to answer these questions and more. After Genghis Khan's death in 1227, his successors faced many challenges that threatened to undermine his legacy. Some of these challenges were succession disputes. Genghis Khan did not leave a clear succession plan for his empire. He only designated Ogedai as his successor as the Great Khan, but he did not specify how the other Khanates should be governed or inherited. This led to conflicts and rivalries among his sons and grandsons over who should rule which region or who should be recognized as the supreme leader of all Mongols. These disputes often resulted in civil wars that weakened the unity and cohesion of the empire. Cultural assimilation. Genghis Khan's successors adopted different cultures and religions from their conquered lands. For example, Kublai Khan, who became the Great Khan in 1260 after Ogedai's death, embraced Chinese culture and Buddhism. He moved his capital from Karakoram in Mongolia to Beijing in China. He also founded a new dynasty called the Yuan dynasty, which claimed to be the legitimate successor of the Song dynasty. Similarly, Hulagu Khan adopted Persian culture and Islam. He established a new dynasty called the Ilkhanate, which claimed to be the rightful heir of the Khwarezmian dynasty. These cultural and religious changes alienated the Mongols from their original nomadic and Tengrist roots. They also created tensions and divisions among the different Khanates, who had different loyalties and interests. External threats. Genghis Khan's successors also faced external threats from their enemies and rivals. For example, Kublai Khan faced resistance from the remnants of the Song dynasty in southern China, which he finally conquered in 1279 after a long and costly war. He also faced challenges from Japan, which he tried to invade twice in 1274 and 1281, but failed both times due to typhoons that destroyed his fleets. He also faced opposition from Vietnam, which he tried to subjugate in 1285 and 1287, but failed again due to guerrilla warfare and tropical diseases. Similarly, Hulagu Khan faced resistance from the Mamluks of Egypt, who defeated him at the Battle of Ain Jalut in 1260, marking the first major defeat of the Mongols by a Muslim army. He also faced opposition from the Golden Horde, which was allied with the Mamluks and attacked his territories in the Caucasus and Anatolia. These were some of the challenges faced by Genghis Khan's successors. They contributed to the decline and fragmentation of the Mongol Empire in the 14th century. The Mongol Empire collapsed in the 14th century due to a combination of internal and external factors. Some of these factors were the Black Death. The Black Death was a devastating pandemic that swept across Eurasia in the mid-14th century. It was caused by a bacterium called Yersinia pestis, which was transmitted by fleas carried by rats and other rodents. It killed an estimated 25 to 75 million people, or about a third of the world's population at the time. The Black Death affected the Mongol Empire in several ways. It reduced its population, its military strength, its economic activity, and its political legitimacy. It also disrupted its trade and communication networks, which were vital for its cohesion and administration. It also increased social unrest and religious fanaticism among its subjects, who blamed the Mongols for bringing the plague upon them. The rise of nationalism. The rise of nationalism was another factor that contributed to the collapse of the Mongol Empire. Nationalism is a political ideology that emphasizes the loyalty and devotion of a people to their nation, which is defined by a common culture, history, language, religion, or territory. Nationalism emerged as a reaction to Mongol rule, which was seen as oppressive, exploitative, and foreign by many of its subjects. Nationalism inspired many rebellions and revolutions against Mongol authority, especially in China and Persia. For example, in China, a peasant leader named Zhu Yuanzhang led a revolt against the Yuan dynasty in 1351. He founded a new dynasty called the Ming dynasty in 1368, which expelled the Mongols from China and restored Chinese sovereignty. Similarly, in Persia, a religious leader named Timur, also known as Tamerlane, led a revolt against the Ilkhanate in 1370. He founded a new dynasty called the Timurid dynasty, which conquered most of Persia and Central Asia and challenged the remaining Mongol khanates. The loss of central authority was another factor that contributed to the collapse of the Mongol Empire. Central authority refers to the power and influence of the Great Khan, who was supposed to be the supreme ruler of all Mongols and all men. Central authority declined as succession disputes, cultural assimilation, external threats, and other factors eroded the legitimacy and effectiveness of the Great Khan. The last Great Khan who had any real authority was Kublai Khan, who died in 1294. After his death, his successors were either weak or incompetent or both. They could not maintain control over their vast territories or enforce their will over their vassals or rivals. They also could not convene a Kurultai, which was a council of tribal leaders that elected and confirmed the Great Khan. The last Kurultai was held in 1306, after which no new Great Khan was ever recognized by all Mongols. These were some of the factors that led to the collapse of the Mongol Empire in the 14th century. The empire broke up into several smaller states that continued to exist for some time, but none of them ever matched the glory or power of Genghis Khan's empire. The fall of the Mongol Empire did not erase its legacy. Genghis Khan and his empire left behind a lasting impact on world history and culture. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more historical content. And don't forget to leave your comments and questions below. See you next time.